All right, we've had a few technical difficulties to start out with. I'm here on my cell phone and Cindy's on her computer, so hopefully we won't zone out. So welcome to Redox Nurse Talk. I'm Doria Stewart from Atlanta, Georgia, and I got my beautiful, wonderful partner in Nashville, Tennessee, Cindy Reed. And so we're independent global associates with a research cellular health company called Redox, or a C, I should say, but it's got the technology of redox signaling molecules. So our mission is to educate the public with a technology called redox signaling molecules and how you incorporate this into your lifestyle. So we thank you for taking your time to be with us this evening to hear about this amazing gift. What you're about to hear is not intended to treat or diagnose or cure any medical health condition. So I'm going to let Cindy share a little bit about who she is and a little bit about her profession and how this crossed her path and what has it done for her.
Okay, thank you, Doria. So this crossed my path in I'm sorry, I'm really out of it today, 2019. And this was something that a friend had posted on LinkedIn with the little teaser that just really got my curiosity up. So when we talked and she explained this to me, the fact that it was natural, native to your body without any side effects really drew me to it, because I was already looking for something to deal with some autoimmune challenges that I was having. And I didn't want anything with side effects or anything with toxicity. So I started on the product, did the product mainly the first part, and then eventually transitioned into doing the business. And this is something that really everyone needs. And I do work as a hospice nurse here in Nashville, Tennessee. And the things that I see that people are dealing with, and not necessarily just older people, we are seeing diseases in younger people starting 20s and 30s that you would normally see in the older population. So a lot of things in our environment can cause issues, a lot of toxins in our foods and our cosmetics and things that we're around. So that's just leading to more earlier diseases with people. So as a hospice nurse, I wish I could share this with my patients, but obviously I can't. But my passion is to share it with as many people as I can, because I know what it can do and what it can't do, and it can hurt you. So thank you, Doria, for letting me share.
Thank you. So I'm Doria Stewart. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a nurse here. Still currently working. Love nursing. It's like a ministry to me. I work in the gastroenterology field. This was brought to me by a friend of mine who's a dentist. He knew that I was open to other forms and modalities of healing, like chiropractic care and oils and massage and all that. So, when he said this is something I think you'd like to look at. And I said, sure. I did. I took a little deep dive. And when I realized it was non-toxic and it works at the cellular level, and it kind of regulates every system in our body at the cellular level, it affects our tissues, our organs, and it allows our bodies to be in a state of wellness and balance. So, I've been on the product for almost 4 years now. For me, it's given me better sleep. I have great endurance. It's done a lot of other little beautiful things, helps with discomfort, especially being a nurse on my feet for 43 years. It's helped with a lot of wear and tear on my body, so to speak. I call it the nature of the beats of working those long shifts, but it's allowed me to continue to work as a nurse. And I'm soon to be 68. So I'm able to endure those long hours and not be tired or worn out by the end of the day. So that's what it's done for me. But this is not about me. It's about having our wonderful guest that we're going to have on this evening that Cindy's going to be interviewing, Rosita, and we're excited about hearing her testimony. I've never heard of it before. So just kind of, open up your ears and your hearts to hear her, what she has to say. So not every week, we've been trying to do a nurse nugget every so often, just to kind of share a little bit about some of the products that we have in our line. So you're going to hear about our flagship product called ASEA Redox, which is in our beautiful blue bottle, and also about the Renew 28. But we have several other products that are on the that power, like their redox potential. And so what I want to talk about is saffron. And we have a self-performance line called Redox Mood. Comes in these pretty little blue teal packets. And saffron is an ingredient in the mood cell performance. And where it comes from, it actually is, I think, grown in India, but it's a spice derived from the saffron crocus flower. It's called Crocus sativia, and it's highly sought out due to the medicinal properties and culinary uses. Because of the popularity of saffron and the labor that goes in growing and harvesting this precious ingredient, it has a very high price. And saffron is currently considered the most expensive spice in the world. It contains a powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant compound called carotenoids and terpenes. Taking and consuming saffron in supplements may help reduce inflammation and oxidative stress, which we know that both of those are the culprit for most health challenges that people experience. Some of the benefits is it improves sleep, it increases levels of sleep regulation, increases the levels of the sleep regulation hormone called melatonin, and acts on the brain receptors to enhance sleep. And just a little side note, I used to take melatonin at night to help me rest. And over time, when you take melatonin, it can lose its effectiveness because the brain receptors get desensitized. So, and we used to give melatonin at the hospital for our patients, especially our elderly population, because it doesn't have any side effects or doesn't cause like a, hangover type feeling. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Secondly, another benefit it helps with is mental health. It includes, which includes depression and anxiety. And it does this by inhibiting the reuptake of mood-boosting neurotransmitters like dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin, which are the feel-good chemicals in the brain. Another benefit, which I didn't know, it benefits certain eye conditions. It reduces eye pressure, which can damage the optic nerve and cause vision loss. So most eye conditions are caused by inflammation. And so these antioxidant compounds found in saffron help decrease inflammation. With the beauty thing of our product, the proprietary blend of Redox Mood, it's just one of the ingredients in our cell performance, but it naturally, regulates your mood. And I am drinking it tonight for sure. Our company is so awesome that it's agreed to use this saffron, even despite the cost of it. They have in these packets, there's just enough of the amount of saffron in here to create, the benefits that, that I just spoke about. So that's all I have to say about saffron. So look into our other cell performance, especially the Redox Mood. It's a game changer. I found most of this information on www.health.com. So it didn't come from a SIA site. It came from another site that I got these the information from. So, all right, Cindy, so take it away from here.
Thank you, Doria. That was very interesting. And I love the fact that, like you said, the saffron is a very expensive spice, and yet our company chose to put it in our product. And it's not an expensive product per pack. If you think about it, what is it, 172, maybe something like that per packet. So that's a pretty good deal. Okay, now we're going to show a video that will explain a little bit about the technologies, especially if you're not familiar with Redox. We use different videos each week, but what I want to do is go back to a different one for Dr. DeBrincat, and then I think Doria's run across some other videos we'll explore to use in the future. Let me share my screen and we'll watch that. Then after that, we have an amazing guest tonight, Rosita Red, and I met her, excuse me, I met her at convention last year. And that's what I love about the company, that we're always meeting people at meetings or whatever we are attending, whether it's online or in person. So let's share the screen. All these commercials, ads.
Today I want to talk about signaling molecules in the body. First of all, signaling molecules in the human body are doing so many things that we just take for granted. And they're determining how easily your body can stay at homeostasis and have the ability to adapt to things that are coming into your body, sometimes unexpectedly. So the first part of signaling molecules, we're going to talk about the brain. So the brain is using signaling molecules to release and to transfer all of the happy hormones and neurotransmitters that are going on in your brain, like dopamine and serotonin and norepinephrine. And so they're dependent on signaling molecules to send and drive those neurotransmitters from one part of the brain to the next and to share information throughout the brain. So your entire nervous system is using signaling molecules to send information down the nerves, and from jumping from one nerve to the next, it's using signaling molecules in order to transfer that information. So our nervous system, which is our most important system in the body, is absolutely dependent on signaling molecules. The next thing I want to talk about is hormones. So we have over 50 hormones in the body that we've identified, and they are actually released and then stopped by a signaling molecule. It'll hit a receptor site and say, hey, I need some of this hormone, please start releasing it. And then another signaling molecule will come in, hit a receptor and say, we've had enough, time to turn that off. And we all know how delicate our hormones can be, and if we're not at homeostasis, we can have all sorts of health problems. Outside of hormones, we have digestive enzymes. We have three main enzymes to break down proteins, to break down fats, and to break down sugars. The release of these enzymes are dependent on signaling molecules, again, to communicate when I need and how much I need of these digestive enzymes. So 75% of all your energy every day is used just on digestion. So we want to make sure that those signaling molecules are working the job correctly. Outside of that, we have our immunity. Your central nervous system is tied directly to your immune system. And that immune system is the first response to threats and to anything that could cause harm to you. And we want those signaling molecules to work quickly. And we want the body to respond fast and to be able to return us to homeostasis from any invaders or any toxins or chemicals or things that shouldn't be in our body. It's our immune response and that inflammation response that, again, is all dependent on signaling molecules to get the job done. Then we talk about circulation. The entire lining of your vascular system has the square foot of larger than a soccer field. Now imagine that soccer field has shag carpet in it. That shag carpet is your glycocalyx, and that's the part of the lining on the inside of all your vascular system that has signaling molecules in it that is responsible for letting oxygen and nutrients through and pushing toxins back out into the blood. Not only that, those signaling molecules in the vascular system, they can tag stuff going by that shouldn't be there for removal or repair if it's injured. And so again, signaling molecules is absolutely every aspect of our vascular system to be able to communicate and function well and get the most out of our blood. Now that same glycocalyx that lines our entire vascular system, we have a really thick one that lines our brain called the blood-brain barrier, and we have another thick one that's our gut barrier. So that's the actual absorption of nutrients and food or molecules that the food is broken down to into your system. And of course, your blood-brain barrier is one of the most important ones because it needs to protect and keep all things that could harm our brain out of our brain. So that is so many reasons and so many aspects of why signaling molecules are so important in our body. But I'm going to leave you with one more that's just going to go way deeper. The inside of every one of your 100 trillion cells is filled with a fluid called signaling molecules that are literally driving the function of that cell. All the amazing things that happens inside a cell needs the signaling molecules to do so. Now here's the thing. As we age, we produce 10% less of these signaling molecules every decade. Now we're producing trillions of them every second, and within 100th of a second, we're using all of them. So this has never been anything that we could store for more when we need more. Now, for the first time ever, We have a company that has cracked the code. They figured out how to produce and how to stabilize signaling molecules outside the human body. This was an absolute miracle, and it's doing so much good in the world. For, as I mentioned, as we age, we're losing the ability to produce more. Now we have a supplement that can fill in that gap and help return our cells to actual functioning cells of our youth. Now, that is the key to longevity, is getting to principal parts of healing. So we have a supplement now that is not a nutrient to build your new cells, but it's an actual supplement filled with workers for your nervous system that are going to take and send and share information throughout your body to help manage all of the things that I just spoke of. Now, it will take about 8 weeks of consuming this product to get you back to those youthful years. So I encourage you, if you've never heard about signaling molecules, well, now you have. And if you've never tried them, get back to the person that shared this video with you and figure out what it's going to take to get you started and to help turn your life around to that younger, more youthful, more vibrant nervous system and cellular energy and physical body that you've had in your younger years. So I hope this was very informative to you, and I hope you have a great day. Bye now.
Whoops, hang on. Get the wrong button. Okay. All right, now we're going to introduce our guest tonight, and we have the honor to have Rosita Red on for tonight for our guest. Rosita is from Salinas, California. However, now she lives in Oregon, and I know it's a beautiful country up there. She was born and raised there in California. She's been married for 27 years, has 4 adult kids, 5 grandkids, and 1 new great-grandkid. And when she told me that, I looked at her and she told me her age, and I couldn't believe it. So we'll discuss that later on in the thing. She needs to be a poster child for our products. So her new great-granddaughter is actually just a few weeks old. Her occupation has been working with the senior market as a life and health insurance broker. Now she works with Medicaid. Medicare, I'm sorry. Yes, Medicare. And she and her husband love playing and on the worship team at church, and her granddaughters who are in high school now are also on the worship teams at church. So she has a great bio here. I'm not going to go into her results with the product and the company. I'm going to let her do that. So Rosita, I'm just going to start with, tell us, what was your life like when someone introduced you to this product?
Okay. Hello, everybody. Before I was introduced to ASEA, I had some neck challenges where I always had to take Tylenol and Advil. And that went on for a number of years because I think it was accumulation of like 3 whiplash as I was very young, 18 and then 25 and then in the 30s. So I had rehab with that, and so I just learned to take Tylenol or Advil, which kind of ate at my stomach. And then I lived with that. But when about 6-7 years ago, I saw Stephanie Hughes post on Facebook about gut health. And so that was 6-7 years ago. So now I'll be 73, and I do the skincare and all that for the last few years. But when I was 50, I had some challenges with, I had negative responses to foods, different kinds of foods like eggs and dairy, and I couldn't have pizza anymore, and I couldn't eat a nice big omelet or what have you. So when I saw that, I got a hold of Stephanie and I said, wait a minute, what do you think? And so my husband and I prayed about it because it was quite spendy. For a case, it was like $132, and we didn't know if it was going to work. So my husband says, yeah, let's just try it, and you start drinking it. Because all those years I did have issues waking up in the middle of the night from the negative responses that I got from eating the different kinds of foods. And I didn't want to take a purple pill because I knew that it was going to have some kind of a negative. It had a temporary ease, but down the road it would be not good. So when the case came in, then my husband said that he wasn't going to go on the men's hike. And I said, why? And he said, well, then he had some challenges with his knee, so he couldn't hike on the men's hike at church. And he always went every year. So I said, why don't you take an ounce and I'll take an ounce, and you try it on your knee, and in 2 weeks, no more challenges with the knee to this day. But within that month, I thought, wait a minute, I am not waking you up, because he had challenges with during the night when he would go to sleep, where his breathing, I could count 15, 16, 17 seconds, and I'd have to say, wake up. And to this day, he doesn't have that issue. So for one, he was very skeptic, but we just made it work, because then we started getting a case for him and a case for me. So that's been like 6, 7 years now. But a few years ago, we both got the virus, and I was hospitalized, which meant I had the pneumonia with it. Oh, wait. Breathing issues with it, and I was on oxygen. And from that, I was in the ICU for 3 days and 4 days in the hospital. But from that, they had incidental findings where it was highly suspicious of questionable areas in my thyroid and in my liver. So I stopped drinking the Redox because I thought it's not working. So then I talked to, when I was discharged, I talked to Donna Lynn, and she said, that's the worst thing you could do. You need to drink more. So I started drinking 16 ounces a day. I started putting the gel on my thyroid and on my liver morning and night. And the doctor said that I needed to have a biopsy, and we prayed about it. We could do a biopsy, and if it was, then we would go that route. But we decided to go this route. Started drinking 16 ounces, started nebulizing the ASEA, and I was careful with what I ate as well. And then they wanted me to monitor it for 5 years. So the first year was 2022, and it showed favorable, from highly suspicious to no longer suspicious to no longer needing a biopsy. The second year to it's all good. There's nothing there. And then on the liver, there was a questionable, highly questionable area. And then when I went back to the doctor, this was last year. So now, mind you, now it's 2, 3 years into it. She says, we should do an MRI on the one on the right. And I said, what happened to the one on the left? Because the one on the left was a little bit more highly suspicious. And she said, I don't know. And it wasn't there. So that was that. And so there's just been a lot of benefits, and I don't want to take up too much time, but, I nebulized it so that way, and my lungs got clear, and then my endurance is noticeably better, because now when my husband and I go for a walk, and if it's just going up on a hill, I'd have to stop and take a rest, because, I am getting a little older, and I always feel like, oh, I am so out of shape. But guess what? I went up and walked a hill, and I said, I can't believe it. I didn't even have to stop, and I could go more. And so that was a good thing. And then a couple of years ago, when I was bending over to put dishes in the dishwasher, I had some challenges with my hip. And that probably was, like when I was 70. And I thought, well, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to get some kind of a replacement. So I thought, wait a minute, I've got some gel, but I wanted to save it for my thyroid and my liver. But I called the chiropractor, and she said, I can get you in 2 weeks. But I couldn't bend over without the pain, without the challenge. So I thought, okay, I'll just put the gel on there 3 and 5 minutes, 3 and 10 minutes, and just all day. And to this day, I haven't had. I'm thankful that the Lord used that to, I don't have that issue. So, and then just a few more things. I had some like brown spots on my skin. So I thought use the gel and the skincare. And so I don't have any more of that aging thing, because it truly is anti-aging. And I think to this day, I don't have to use, I already mentioned, I don't have to use the Tylenol or Advil. And so that's just the tip of the iceberg of all the benefits that from drinking ASEA and using the gel, how it's helped my husband and I. And whenever we travel in our fifth wheel, my husband is the first one that says we better make sure that we have our pouches wherever we go. So I've got the pouches, and because I don't like to do this kind of thing, not that I don't like to, but it makes me nervous, but I did drink my mood, and so there it is. I was able to do this. So thank you.
You did great. So, Rosita, how long did you said your husband was a skeptic? How long after you started drinking, or he started drinking it, did he realize that this was real?
Well, 2 weeks,
2
because
weeks.
so it could have been coinkydink, right? But then a month into it, I mean, people have to use some kind of a device to help you as you sleep. And he doesn't have to this day. And never that he never had to, but I was entertaining the thought of getting some kind of a sleep study. And I never had to do that. So he doesn't. So yeah, probably 2 weeks to a month. Faithfully
awesome.
drinking it, and faithfully, it's part of our grocery budget. Actually, we were taking a lot of supplements, he and I, because we're more into not taking, and prescription drugs. They're there for a season, but not on a being proactive with your health and addressing issues. So yeah, he's on board.
That's awesome. I'm like you. I think of prescription medicines as maybe a short-term fix for a condition, but it shouldn't be a lifestyle. You really, now, granted, there's situations out there where I'm sure it has to be, but for the most part, and for most people, it should not be a lifestyle that you do daily, year after year after year. If you're serious about your health, you will find a way to change it. You just got to be determined and realize that you definitely want to make the changes that are needed. So with this, you've been to convention, like we talked about, that's where we met. Explain a little bit about the company, the ethos. How would you explain that to someone? If you were meeting someone new and trying to tell them and share your excitement about this product and this company, how would you do that?
I already share it was amazing when I went to the convention. We even went to the one in Vancouver, Canada after that, like in, I think it was October, November. I love that the company does not come out rah, and let's make some money. Their heart, they have the heartbeat for people, heartbeat for people for their health and for their wellness. And yes, we get compensated, and the company's really good to us. But I just saw the passion and that they have for people's health. Yeah. And that's what I liked about the company.
So when you share it with someone, how do you go about? What is your lead into sharing this with someone?
Well, usually I'm in the senior market because that's what I work with, but I'm also at church. And so I have all ages. And basically, when they have some kind of a concern, I will just say, I may have something that could help you. Would you be interested in talking about it or watching a short video, or would you just be interested? Because what if it could help you? And right now we actually are helping someone who has, at birth, he had some kind of a growth on his brain, and it's caused him some disabilities. But what if it could help him? What if it could help him have more energy? What if it could help him, just when he wakes up, feel better and have a better frame of mind, and the mood is better? And I mean, and what if it could? And it has. So that's just one. And I mean, it just, I have a passion to help people. It's helped us, it's helped my kids. Sorry about that, but
Don't apologize.
this company truly has helped a lot of people.
It really does. It really has. And don't ever apologize for your feelings, Rosita. That's part of the company that I love and that it's drawn to, because you can see the heart of people. And that's real.
Yeah.
So if someone, how do you take rejection? So when you're talking to someone and they aren't interested, how do you handle that?
Well, it really saddens me for one thing. And then I do pray and ask the Lord to just open up their heart. And people have watched us over the years, actually. And my friends and family, they're even asking now. And they're on board. And I do have one that is open to now watching the video and is open to listening to the idea that this could help. So the rejection, yeah, I'm human and I don't like to hear no either, but it's just, I know that it could help do something, but I don't know what it could do. And I like what I'm doing now, because I get to pray for them, and God brings people my way, so I get to pray for them, and then also offer this gift. I really believe that it's a gift, and if they can receive it, and if they don't, then it saddens me. I don't take that personal. I get more sad that they're not willing to listen to it.
I understand that. I think you're in the perfect market, though, working with people with Medicare. Like you said, you're in the older generation market, and that's where a lot of the health challenges that we have are found. So it's really sets you up for opportunities, I feel like. And again, like you said, you can't take it personally, but we are saddened. But sometimes they do come back, and you've probably seen that with people. Like you said, they're watching you. So
Yeah.
if it's friends or family and they're in constant contact with you, they're seeing changes in you, and they're maybe even like tonight, they're seeing that you're talking about your testimonial and sharing. And I think they'll get curious and they'll come back and ask more questions for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to say, if you have questions, put them in the chat for Rosita. Let me open up the chat and she can answer anything as well. But I'm going to switch over to Doria. Doria may have some questions for you as well.
Okay, Cindy, so thank you. So I just got a couple comments here. So all the things that you expressed, your health challenges that you experienced, and also your husband, your body was in unbalanced state, and that's what we just have to reiterate here, is that a redox signaling molecules, it just allows our body to be in a state of balance, or as Dr. Lee Osler says, hormesis. And, the redox signaling molecules are all about cellular communication. So it's just able to go out and bring the resources in, to bring healing. So I always say, if you give the body what it needs, it'll heal itself. Prescription meds, both Cindy and I have given those out over the years. And unfortunately, that just treats symptoms. And just like Cindy said, we're not getting to the root causes of things. And working in a GI gastroenterology recovery room, I hear all the time about the purple pill, and then other medications like that. And unfortunately, the sad thing is that, which kind of breaks my heart, and I have a conflict of interest, is that my doctors tell my patients that they're going to be on this medication for the rest of their lives, that there's nothing else out there that can help them. I mean, don't even talk about nutrition, but that's kind of hurts my heart in a lot of different ways. We're talking about rejection, as nurses, we always like to teach our patients, and a lot of what we even talk to them about, good health practices and, hydration, they're gonna, most of the time, they're gonna do what they want to do until it, comes to a point where they, are desperate for something. But all you need to do is continue planting seeds, and, and eventually people will come around, and hopefully remember, what you, shared with them. So don't get discouraged about that. And lastly, I wanted to, I don't have any other questions, but the Genesis story speaks a lot about, how our company, said no to big pharma. And I'm so thankful that they did. And they chose people over profit. So if some of you are on this, Zoom tonight for the very first time, or, and even if you've seen it before, watch it again, because it really touches my heart, every time I watch it. So that's all I have to say, Sin. I'm good.
Yes, with the Genesis video, I don't think we can watch it without tearing up. I mean, even though we've seen it hundreds times, it still gets to you. Any questions in the chat? I know Rosita answered one of Barbara's. Any other questions in the chat? And I did send so to Lily, she was asking about where will this video be. So we do upload these to our YouTube channel, and just go to YouTube and search Redox Nurse Talk, and you should see all of our past recordings as well. It will take a while to get it there, so it will be there definitely in the morning, but it will be later tonight when I finish processing it. Trying to think, I know I had something else on my mind and I lost it. I didn't drink my mind tonight. So Rosita, what are some of your favorite products? Like you talked about, and like Doria's mentioned tonight too, we have several products and all have a different purpose. Of course, the redox molecules are in the redox signaling, the blue bottle. And then we have the concentrated version in the gel, but we also have the redox molecules in the intensive serum. And that's pretty cool. So with your beautiful skin, and you do not look 73, what are you using as far as skincare? Are you using the skincare line?
I'm using the whole skincare line, and I do use the intensive care on my neck.
It looks great.
Yeah. So, but yes, I use the whole skincare. So that's one of my favorites, but they're actually all my favorites because they all have something like the cellular performance. My husband does the energy and the mind, because he works still at the hospital at home, but he has to be of sharp mind and he's in meetings. And but I don't do the energy because I don't need the energy. So I do the mood and I do the radiance, because that for some reason has helped my nails get stronger. And these are actually my nails. And then I mean, my favorite actually is just the Renew 28. I just, whenever I take it with me, and whenever I do come across someone that's got a pain, I said, can I try something on you? I get their permission, and then on a scale from 1 to 10. So then I put that on there, like, what just happened? So that's kind of one of my favorites. So,
And it's basically like a first aid kit in a tube, because I've used it on bee stings, bruises, discolorations, like you were talking about. Age spots can fade as well.
And then I usually put it in a spray bottle as well, the Redox, and spray it in. It goes with me, and I just spray in everyone's eyes.
And
it actually took at some kind of my daughter had something on her eyelid. I'm like, let's spray it, let's spray it, let's spray it. And I gave her the bottle, and so in a couple of weeks I said, no, what happened there? And she goes, I went to the eye doctor and they surgically did this. I'm like, really? She goes, no, just kidding. It was all gone. So yeah, my whole family is now knowing that I'm consistent. We are consistent with this. And they can see that grandma and grandpa are energetic. We're not just sitting around on, watching TV or something.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
Taking naps. Nothing wrong with taking naps.
Well, you don't need it with the redox, right?
Oh, yeah.
So last question. unless someone else has put something in the chat, what are your goals for the next year with this company?
My goal actually is to speak to more people, to give it more time, to devote more time so I can help more people. Because what if it could?
Right.
What if it could help people?
And that's a good question to end with. So listen to that if you're new to this. What if? I mean, you don't have anything to lose. It's non-toxic, like we've talked about, no side effects. And there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you do need to really give it 90 days to really see a full effect or potentially good effect. You're going to see more things the longer you're on it. Like with me and my issues, it didn't go away in 90 days because I didn't get these things in 90 days. It takes a while, maybe a year, you're going to continue to see improvement. But give it a shot. Like Rosita said, what if? What if this could help? So with that, I think we will end. Is there any more questions? Are there any more questions in the chat? See any, Doria?
So I did want to say regarding my gut health, it's all good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And to add to that, we have the biome that can assist in that
Yes.
as well. I mean, the redox can get it going and the biome can keep it going. And with your skin care, even the omegas is good for skin, hair, and nails. So yeah, you got it all going, girl. Okay. Doria, do you want to close out? You want me to close out? I've kind of lost track here.
If that's okay. It's strange doing this on my cell phone, but anyway, yeah. So I know most of the people that are, I think, on the call are all associates, and maybe there are some guests. I don't see any. I mean, I see some names I don't know, but certainly get back to the person that invited you on the Zoom, and and hear more about what, there's other videos that you can see, realredoxresults.com with the password redox, which has 150 testimonies on there and goes more into the depth about each of our products. So, reach back to your person who invited you on this. And then next week we have Jim Motherlaw. And Jim actually came from a corporate background, but what piqued his interest about redox was the science. So, we look forward to having him next Tuesday on Redox Nurse Talk. So thank you, Cindy.
Thank you, Doria. And thank you, Rosita, for being our guest on tonight. This has been awesome and we appreciate you and wish you continued success with your business as well as the things you're going to share with other people. I'll stop the recording for tonight. Let's see. And like I